झालं सर लाईन चालू सुरू झालं येते लिंक वेळ एवढी लोक 5-1 मिनिटं पण हो सर हॅलो 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 अडीतून दिसत होतो नुसतं नाही येत आहे hello mic test hello hello mic test hello mic test 1 2 3 hello mic test 1 2 3 by Jason. Actually, included Joe. Okay, welcome all of you. We'll begin the session wherein anybody is having any query about yesterday's quiz or today's morning home assignment on LCM-HCF. Yesterday's quiz was about numbering system and today's exam assignment was about the LCM and HCF. Any queries about this or else I'll start going with the fundamental, discussing the home assignment of LCM and HCF. Any query about yesterday's quiz, suppose you are having, you are allowed to express it, because yesterday's quiz with entire solution is already available on YouTube and link is already shared with you. So you know the solution, but in spite of that, suppose you find some difficulty or some considerations which I have made while discussing the solution part of it, suppose you have not understood it, you are free to ask here in the chat box. You can raise the query. Till that time, I'll start analyzing the home assignment on LCM-HCF one by one. HCF of two numbers is 13. HCF of two number AB is 13. The difference is also 13. And you are supposed to find them. Now look here, HCF of AB is 13. Now naturally what happened? HCF is highest common factor. So what I do, A will have HCF as highest common factor shared with B, and it may have some another factor which is distinct, which is not shared with B. So this is common factor, this is uncommon factor. Perfect. B is equal to HCF. It is the highest common factor shared with A, and the factor which B has not shared with a distinct factor, uncommon factor Q. So A is having common factor HCF, uncommon P. B is having common factor HCF, uncommon Q. Now this is the A and B. Now HCF of AB is 13. So can I say it is 13P, 13Q? It is 13P and 13Q. Now it is further given A minus B is equal to 13P minus 13Q is equal to 13. P minus Q is equal to 13. And typically we realize that 13 into P minus Q is equal to 13, and therefore P minus Q is equal to 1. It's very distinct. Now P and Q are such factors where difference in them is 1 and they are not having anything in common. Now naturally, what could be the values of P and Q? We'll have to dwell upon. The answers given 39, 15, 55, 65, 91 and so on. The answers given, typically P and Q are multiplied by 13 to get this A, multiplied by 13 to get this B. What could be P and Q? P and Q, they don't have anything in common and they are co-prime, so they are not equal also. Naturally, if you see the prime numbers which are available and so forth, you'll find except 2 and 3, we don't have any consecutive. Okay. Now, the answers which are given are 39, 55. Now these are the answers about AB. 39, 55 is first option. 65, 91 is another option. 65, 78 is yet another option. And 50, 63 is yet another option. Now, as 13 is HCF of both the numbers, okay, so 13 should be able to divide both the numbers. 13 is dividing this, but not able to divide this. So this pair is rejected. 13 is able to divide this. This is 13 into 5. And this is 13 into 7. Then 13 into 5. 13 into 6. Then not divisible by 13, not divisible by 13. So typically we are having only two options. Where we realize here the value of P will be 5, Q will be 7. P will be 5, Q will be 7. Naturally, the value, Q is 6. Naturally, the discussion which we had started earlier, that P minus Q should be 1. So P is bigger 1. I'll put it P is bigger 1. This is P and this is Q. P is bigger 1. Because P minus Q is equal to 1, which we are getting. P minus Q is 1. So typically what is 7 minus 5 is 2. So this option cannot be there. 6 minus 5 is 1. So this option will be there. And this is the correct answer. So typically all considerations one after the other we have to put in so that we can get answer. If you have any query about yesterday's quiz or any query about the home assignment, you can raise it, or else I will check the all questions in home assignment, today's home assignment. The detailed answers for this will be made available on YouTube maybe in hour or so. Okay. LCM of two numbers is 24 and they are in the ratio 2:3. LCM of two numbers is 24 and they are in the ratio in the 2:3. Find the numbers. Now when we have the LCM of the numbers, again the previous thing only, A is equal to highest common factor into P, B is equal to highest common factor into Q. Standard proposition. This is common factor, this is uncommon factor. Common factor, this is uncommon factor. Now further we know that this is 2 into P, 3 into P, 2 into M, 3 into M. Just I will take some arbitrary value M. So A is 2M, B is 3M. Why? Because A is to B is 2M is to 3M is 2 is to 3. So I am entitled to take 2M and 3M. Now if you realize here M happens to be the common factor to A and B both, and it is the highest one because 2 and 3 they don't have anything common. So M happens to be the HCF, and therefore we will find if M happens to be HCF, then P is equal to 2. M happens to be HCF and Q is equal to 3. And therefore we have M as HCF. Now LCM is what? LCM is HCF multiplied by product of uncommon factor taken once. It is repeating in two numbers, they will take only for one time. So it is HCF is what? Here HCF is M into product of uncommon factor is P and Q, that is 2 and 3. So it will be 2 and 3. LCM is HCF into product of uncommon factor. Common was MM, uncommon was 2 and 3. So M into 2 and 3. But it is given LCM is 24. So 24 is equal to 6M and therefore M is equal to 4. The moment I have M is equal to 4, this 2M will become 8 and 3M will become 12. Look at it. 8 and 12 will have HCF as 4, highest common factor, and LCM as 24. Okay? Yes. Any queries coming? Who has given this query?
Name is not mentioned, so question was given.
Okay. Now Rimpi is asking a question. Is asking a question query about the yesterday's quiz on number system, some fourth numerical. In a division problem, look here, I'll make it. dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Should I put it divisor as P, dividend as P, divisor as D, quotient as Q, and remainder as R? Divisor is 2/3 of the quotient. So divisor is 2/3 of quotient. First proposition. And 3 times the remainder. So divisor is equal to 3 times the. Then what is the dividend? And we are given some values between 128 to 260. Now how to go about? Now in this entire thing, what will happen? Divisor is 2/3 of quotient. So quotient equal to 3/2 dividend. Okay, divisor. Divisor is equal to 3 times remainder. So remainder is 1/3 of divisor. Okay, have you understood this? Divisor is 2/3 of quotient. So quotient will be equal to 3/2 of divisor. Divisor is 3 times remainder. So remainder is 1/3 of divisor. Now what we do? We substitute value of Q and R into the above equation. What is the above equation? P is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. What is quotient? 3/2 of D. What is remainder? 1/3 of D. So quotient is replaced in terms of D. Quotient is replaced in terms of D. Remainder is replaced in terms of D. So now I am having full equation in terms of D. Now I'll try to simplify the equation and what I gave. This 3 will cut down with 3 D. 3/2 D square plus D/3. Now the options which are given, look at the options. Look at the options which are given. Options given are A 128, B 184, C 220, D 260. Now, what is the dividend? So these are the values of dividend which are given. Look here, these are the value of P which are given. P is equal to this, find out which one is there. Now when P is equal to D square, it's a square of something. And therefore under root of P will give us D. What is under root of all these numbers? We will not obtain exact, rough range we want. Because 1/3, like this will be 1.5 D square plus 0.33 D. So 0.33 D will see later on. So whatever may be D square, we make 1.5 times of this and your P is still more. So what is the, let's consider the value of D to be, say for example 12. Why I am considering 12, I'll also make it out. Or say take any value for that. Say you can take 15 also. If I take 15, 15 square will be 225. And so 1.5 15 square. 1.5 D square. If D is equal to 15 I take. So it will become more than 300. This will become more than 300. Now option available here is 260. Now if I consider 144 as 12 square, 1.5 times this will be 210 plus 216. It will be 216. So if D is equal to 12, now look here, naturally if lowest value of D if I consider, D is equal to 10 if I consider, D is equal to 10 I consider. So D square will be what? 100. 1.5 D square will be what? Now in the entire process, remember one thing. This is D by 3. Now if the D by 3 comes to be fraction, then my dividend will be in fraction. So my D into 1 by 3 cannot be fraction. So D must be the multiple of 3. D must be multiple of 3. Now suppose, so I can say that value of D could be 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. Now 15 square is going more than 300. So 18 cannot be there. 15 cannot be there. It is going more than 300. So options available with us are, for D I am talking about 3, 6, 9, 12. If I consider 3 square is 9, 9 into 1.5, it's almost 14. 14 plus something, 1, 15. So this doesn't come in the range. Or 6, 36. 6 square is 36 and 1.5 times, it is almost 54 or something, and maybe 2 adding, 56. So 6 won't come in the way. What about 9? 9 into 9, 81. 81 into 1.5. So 120 something. 120. So this option perhaps could be closer. So D is equal to 9 we can try. Difficulty is D is equal to 9 is what? If D is equal to 9, then my P is equal to 1.5 D square plus D by 3. 1.5 into D square 81 plus 9 by 3. Now 9 by 3, this has become in natural number, no issues. But here 81 into 1.5 will become fraction. So this is not allowed. So D cannot be 9. Suppose we take D is equal to 12. 1.59 D square will remain as it is. If I take D is equal to 12, I get 1.5, 12 square plus 12 by 3. So it is 1.5, 144 plus 4. Okay. So this will become 216 plus 4, 220. That means we converge at the option. This is the option. We converge at the option either by actually calculating it. Like for example, P is equal to some function of D is given. Now we neither know D, we nor know P. But some 4 values of P are given. So which value of D can tentatively manage this? Like for example, because D by 3 cannot be fraction, D has to be multiple of 3. Because 1.5 times D square is there, so D square has to be even. Because 1.5 times will not become fraction. If it is odd, 1.5 times odd number will be fraction. So D square has to be even. So we want the number D should be such that it should be multiple of 3 and the square should be even. So when we say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, this is the range which is available. Now square of this is 9, which is not even. So this is eradicated. Square of this is even. Okay. So we should consider this. We should not consider this. We should not consider this. We should not consider this. 6 and 12 should be considered. And 6 when we try to consider, the number is coming far below than 100. And therefore it doesn't have any option in this 4-1. So 12 is the only option. Okay. There is a request. The screen is shining. So we have to take a 2 minutes break so that we can adjust the screen. People are not able to see the things on the screen. You remain logged in. Is it visible? Check whether it is visible. For analysis, we are taking a pause. Is it clear? Once again, because we have taken break, because the board was shining. Now, if it is not clear, you in a chat box you indicate it. Because if you are not able to see this, there is no point in proceeding further. Check whether you are able to see it fully or otherwise. Can we proceed? Yeah, with your permission, we'll proceed. This example, I think, is clear to all of you? It takes some time. Initially, with every moment, it becomes all of a sudden bright, and then when we settle it, then it starts seeing it. We could get this equation: P is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Again, with every moment, it is becoming bright. How to go about? Like, I'll try to remain steady as far as possible so that the figures are available. Look at the second line from the top. P is equal to D into 3 by 2D plus 1/3 D. Understand well, D has to be in multiple of 3. Otherwise, 1/3 of D will be fraction. P cannot be fraction. P is a dividend. So it will be natural number. Then 3 by 2 D square has to be natural number. So D square has to be even. If D square is not even, if it is odd, 3 by 2 into odd number will be again the fraction part of it. So we want value of D in such a way that D should be multiple of 3 and square of D should be even. And more than D cannot have value more than 15. We have seen the limitation of the problem that if D is equal to 15, the square is 225 and 1.5 of 225 becomes more than 300. And none of the option is more than 300. So we'll consider the multiple of 3 up to 15. That is 3, 6, 9 and 12. All are divisible by 3. All are possible option. But second condition is 1.5 times D square should be a natural number. So D square has to be even. So 3 square is 9, which is not even. 9 square 81, which is also not even. So both the options are eradicated. So we are left with only two options, 6 and 12. 6 square is 36. 36 into 1.5, it will be 54. And D by 3 will be 2. So value of P for D is equal to 6 is 56. Again, all options are 3 digit. So this will be 2 digit, not matching. So we are left with only one value of D, that is D is equal to 12. We tried, and out of the 4 options, we can converge and get one option. I hope I have avoided any moment over here. So the brightness of the board is not changing and things are visible to you. So I'll make the explanation after I write completely. Because during writing, suppose I make explanation, because of my moment, again the board becomes brighter one. Okay, any query from your side? Like with my moment, look here, the board has become bright and nothing is visible. Anyway. Now we have the third home assignment problem. 3 different containers contain liquid, 558 liter, 434 liters, 899 liters. And the question is, what biggest measure can measure all the different quantities exactly? I will hold on for some time. So the brightness of the board will go and you will see what I have written on the board. All 3 numbers are given. So what we are supposed to do? We will be finding out HCF of them, highest common factor of them. So that becomes the biggest measure. The highest factor will become biggest measure, which can measure all the quantities in liters which are given. So finding HCF of this will be the answer. I think brightness is varying too much. What to do? You can switch off the light. You can switch off this bright light. Let us see. You can, with the roof light we can manage. Now, is it visible? I hope it is visible. It's brighter. Okay. 558, 434, 899. We find HCF of this, highest common factor of this. How we find highest common factor? Factorize this, factorize this, factorize this, and find it out. But we realize that when the numbers are big one, it is really difficult to factorize. So what we do, we can use the second method of obtaining HCF. What is the second method? Take any of these two numbers or these two numbers, and what we do, the bigger number we divide by a smaller number. Typically 899 divided by 434 . 899 divided by 434. What we are obtaining? We are obtaining HCF of 434 and 899 by this method. Now we got this as remainder and this was divisor. So what we do? 434. This divisor we divide by remainder. 434 divided by the remainder. So 1. When we get remainder 0, the divisor is considered as HCF. So HCF of these two numbers is 31. Then what we do? With a simple one, HCF of three numbers is equal to 558 and HCF of 434 and 899. We obtain HCF of two numbers. With that HCF, we obtain HCF of this number and HCF of the remaining two numbers. So typically is equal to HCF of 558 and 31. Again, 558 and 31 also will obtain with similar thing. 558 divided by 31, I'll get 31 here. And then division of 8 if I give. As the remainder is 0, the last divisor 31 is HCF of these two numbers. This is HCF of these two numbers. And therefore, 31 becomes HCF of all the numbers. 31 becomes HCF of all the numbers. We avoid carrying out factorization of all the numbers because it takes time consuming. Again, in competitive examination, whether you get correct answer by shorter method or longer method is going to make big difference. And therefore, we'll go by when the numbers of which we want to find factors are more than 150 or 200, the number of factors will become too many and finding them also becomes tricky. So this method is faster. Any query we got from students? We'll proceed to the fourth example. LCM of two numbers is 924. LCM of two numbers is 924. Again, board has become bright. I'll write down everything and then we'll try to visualize. Both numbers are smaller than 125. And HCF is 4. So typically I'll write down first. I'll explain when the brightness will go. A is equal to HCF into some uncommon factor P. B is equal to HCF uncommon factor Q. And HCF is given as 4. So is equal to 4P, 4Q. And LCM is equal to HCF, that is highest common factor, and here product of uncommon factors. HCF is 4. Uncommon factors are P and Q. So P into Q, P and Q, they don't have anything in common. 4 times P into Q is equal to 924. Therefore, PQ is equal to 924 by 4. 231. P into Q is 231, and P and Q, they don't have anything in common. Now try to factorize 231 so that we can get the value of PQ. We'll try to factorize 231. 231 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 1 is divisible by 3. So it is 3 into 77. So is equal to 3 into 7 into 11. All right. Naturally, so what we have, 4 is a common factor, and P and Q, they are consisting of 3, 7, 11. Now 3, 7, 11 are all co-primes. So one of the number out of P and Q will get product of two numbers out of this, and the second one will have the other factor. So we have a combinations. If it is clear, I'll proceed. So what we can do, we can say that P into Q is equal to 3 into 7 into 11. So P is equal to 21, Q is equal to 11. Or PQ is equal to 3 into 7 into 11. So P is equal to 3, Q is equal to 77. Or 3 into 11 into 7. So P is equal to 33, Q is equal to 7. Out of 3 factors, we have to take 2 at a time for P and remaining for Q. Means one of the number out of P and Q will be product of 2 numbers. So we are getting this. So typically 21, 11 is a pair of co-prime. 3 and 77 is a pair of co-prime. 33 and 7 is having pair of co-prime. So they don't have anything in common. So they can qualify themselves as value of P and Q. But our consideration here is given as our numbers A and B are less than 125. A and B are less than 125. And what is A? A is equal to 4P. What is B? B is equal to 4Q. So we are multiplying A by 4 and B by 4. Okay. So look here. If I multiply this by 4, what will happen? 33 into 4, 132. So this P has gone beyond 125, not allowed. So this option is not possible. Into 4, if I make 12, it is all right. But 77 into 4 goes much beyond 125. So this combination rejected. 21 into 4, I will get 84. And 11 into 4, I'll get 44. Value of P is less than 120. Value of A is less than 125, and value of B is also less than 125. So this option 2111 of values of P and Q are accepted, and therefore corresponding value of A will be, if I consider this is 84 and this is 44. A is 84, B is 44. We'll have HCF 4 and LCM whatever was given. Okay. Any query we are getting? We'll go for the last 2 problems. In case of any query about yesterday's quiz solutions given to you, as well as in case of any query about today's discussion, please feel free to put your queries in the chat box so that you'll be benefited by this live discussion. The least number which should be added to 2493 so that sum is exactly divisible by 3456. 2493 plus A exactly divisible by 3456. Now what we are supposed to do? If I find LCM of these four numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6, the LCM is divisible by all these numbers. And if this number happens to be the multiple of LCM, then again it is also divisible by all the numbers. So first we obtain the LCM of these numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6. Naturally, 3 into 4 is 12. Now 12 is also divisible by 6. So 12 can be LCM of 3, 4 and 6. 12 doesn't have anything common with 5. So LCM of all these numbers will be 12 into 5. So 60. LCM of this is 60. The moment we realize that LCM of this is 60, what we do? Naturally, 60 is divisible by all the numbers. 60 into 2 is also divisible by all these numbers. 60 into n also divisible by all these numbers. We would like to find out that value of n, which is just about 2493. Therefore, 2400 is divisible by 60. So 2460 is divisible by 60, and 2520 is the next division of 60. And this number 2493 is between 2460 and 2520. So 2493 plus something we are interested in. So if what should be added to this so that we get next number, because by adding something we won't get this number. By adding something we get this number, and next divisible is 2580 and so on. So if we add bigger one number, we'll get subsequent number. The minimum adding will get this number. So 2493 plus 7 is 2500 and plus 20. So if I add 2493 plus 27, I'll get 2520. The immediate number above 2493 but divisible by 60. This is divisible by 60. This is divisible by 60. This is divisible by 60. But this is the number immediately after this divisible by 60. And hence we are targeting this. So what should be added to 2493 to make it 2520? 27 should be added to 2493 to make it 2520. And therefore the answer for the question is 27. We'll move to the last question of home assignment. Again, the analysis of this and the discussion will be available to all of you, and the video on the YouTube you can see to see the explanation of all this thing. Why the live session? What is the importance of live session? We are already having video in the morning. We are having all discussion. Your home assignment, your quiz, everything is again, all solved part is again put a video on it. The learning goes in between this. When home assignment is given in morning, you try solving yourself home assignment. If you are stuck up somewhere and then you look into solution, you know where you are stuck up. Then it will have a different level of learning. Yesterday quiz you solved with a time frame. Home assignment, a bigger time frame, 4-5 hours. Quiz, a very narrow time frame, a very sharp time frame, maybe 10 problems in 20 minutes. Home assignment, you can solve it at leisure. Correctness should be ensured. Quiz, correctness should be ensured, and time limit is also there. So a different paradigm is available for the quiz. So difficulties in the quiz, perhaps I was expecting some questions from you that in yesterday's quiz, perhaps suppose you are able to solve all the problems in the quiz. question is, what are the shortcuts? Can you solve the same problem with faster track method? Because one question in 2 minutes, 10 question in 20 minutes is a very, very leisure proposition. You will find much more difficult question to be solved 10 questions, 10 minutes. And then you will realize that you will not be able to solve all the 10 questions unless you know the shortcuts. So what could be the shortcuts for yesterday's quiz problems? May not be for all 10, but maybe for 1 or 2 problems where you are not able to get the shortcuts. The live session is basically for discussing those issues. Solution is anyway available to you, but the fast track, in order to explain you the solution may adhere to a longer track because you must understand it fully. So it goes a bit slow and it may have more number of steps. That is not the way when you think in the actual solving aptitude examination. The training program, this 1 week training program, will basically help you in enhancing your understanding part mainly. The speed part you have to practice, and hurdles and difficulties in the speed part you must interact during live session. So make best use of live session. Otherwise, self-learning is possible with the other videos which are available. All right, let's see the last example in home assignment. Till that time, suppose you are having some queries in the quizzes. In a chat box, you can indicate so we can handle those queries. Find the least number which is a perfect square and is divisible by each of the numbers 8, 10, 12. And it is a perfect square. So what we do, we find out LCM of these. Find out LCM of 8, 10, 12. And then we'll try to, once we find 8, 10, 12, we find LCM of this 8, 10, 12. And we will try to find out multiple of this, which is a complete square. How to go about? Find LCM of this. 8 will be what? 2 into 2 into 2. 10 will be what? 2 into 5. Now, when small numbers are there, we'll use the factorization technique. That is the best one. 2 into 2 into 3. So typically here 2 into 3 into 5. 2 into 3 into 5. 2 into 3 into 5. Now here 2 to the power 3, 3 and 5 are non-existing, so power zeros. 2 to the power 1, 5 to the power 1, 3 to the power 0. 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 1, 5 to the power 0. I think you are comfortable with this. Now when we talk about LCM will be 2 into 3 into 5. What we do, the highest power in this 3, 1, 2, highest is 3, we take it here. 0 and 1, so highest is 1, we take it here. 0 and 1, the highest is 1, we take it here. So it will become 8 into 3 into 5 is equal to 120. So LCM of these numbers is 120. So what we do, once we get LCM, 120 is not a perfect square. So what we do, LCM into some number A is perfect square. So we want to obtain LCM into A as a perfect square. How we go about it? LCM is 120. 120 I can write down 2 into 2 into. This was the preposition. Eight, 10, 12. Okay. 2 into 2 into 3 into 5 is the preposition. Now, into A. Naturally, I am already having square of 2 here. 3 into 5 and into A. I want to make it a perfect square. So, this is already square. But 3 into 5 I don't have square. So, suppose my value of A happens to be 3 into 5. 2 square and 3 into 5 square. So, I'll get a perfect square. So, my value of A will be 3 into 5. So, value of A will be 15. Now, consider the value of A as 15 and we'll realize I hope I am correct. 1800 and 1800 will be a perfect square. Perfect square of what? It will be perfect square of 2 into 3 into, sorry, something wrong. Sorry, 2 is missing. 2 is missing. 2 into 2 into 2. 2 into 2 into 2, this will become 8. 8 into 15 is 120. So 1 2 was missing. So I'll put it like this. Now it's correct. 2 square into 2 into 3 into 5 into 8. So my A has to be 2 into 3 into 5. So my A has to be, as you understand, my A has to be 2 into 3 into 5. So A has to be equal to 30. So if this is 30, I'll get 3600 is equal to 60 square. Why 60 square? It is 2 into 3 into 5 into 2. Square of this, square of this. I can mention it as square of this into 2 into 3 into 5 square. This and A is same, so square of this. And therefore totally I'll get 2 into 2 into 3 into 5 whole square is equal to 60 square. So this is how we try to solve the problems which are there in the entire LCM and HCF. All the best to all of you for the quiz which is going to be there in the evening. Take all this thing very seriously. Some of you are not able to solve this. Some of you are not able to understand this. Some of you find this cakewalk. Very quickly you are able to respond. Some of you are able to finish the exam in 3-4 minutes. 10 questions in 3-4 minutes. Pat yourself. Be happy with yourself. But don't remain satisfied and contented with it. The competition is not going to be with the beginners. When the program which you are enrolled, most of the people are beginners. And suppose among them, suppose you are able to shine, it's a good sign toward the progress. But do not stop at this level. You are going to compete with tougher contenders hereafter. If you are able to solve 10 questions in 4 minutes, you'll find another fellow is able to crack the same thing in 3.5 minutes. Yet another one in 3.2 minutes. And the competition becomes very fierce. Some of the people just look at the option and say that option C is there. By some sort of intuition or some sort of convergence. Of course, based with some logic also. But then it's very difficult to beat them. So we have to learn the shortcuts. We have to learn to get the correct answer by actually solving. Or we have to get the correct answer by eliminating the grossly incorrect answers. Out of the 4, suppose 3 answers we are able to separate out and eliminate, which are grossly wrong, then there is a reason to believe that the 4th answer is correct. So we proceed. I think some question is coming. We'll try to address the question before we conclude. Shiva Shankar Gaidhani, shortcut methods of solving the problem so that we can able to solve any problem in a short duration. Very true. Now look here, when the numbers are bigger and you are supposed to find the highest common factor, which I have illustrated earlier, the best way not to factorize this and try it out. Best way is to try to use the division method. Division method goes with a fast track. And typically when numbers are even, understand, 2 numbers are even, 1 is odd. In order to try to find out a common factor in them, remember, what will be the HCF? HCF has to be odd. Because odd number can have multiple even and multiple odd. But even number can only have multiples even. So HCF is going to be odd. See, just conclusion I'm trying to make it out in order to converge shortcut. And again, if I want to factorize, look here, I'll just make it in front of you. This is not divisible by 2. So 2 plus 7 plus 9. Sum is divisible by 3. So divide by 3. Again divide by 3. So to factorize 558, you require this much time. To factorize this number, you again require same time. To factorize this, you require again same time. Best way, converge by, say 899. I divide by 558. Previously, I have divided by 434. Deliberately, I am taking division by other things so that you can understand. This is 1, 558. I go for this 1. This is 4, and this is 3. So this remainder I use to divide this 558 divided by 341. 341 I am having 7, 1, 2. Then this remainder I will use to divide this. So 341 divided by 217. 217 124. Then 217 I will divide by 124. 93. And 124 I'll try to divide by 93. Am I right? See. Okay. 93. What I'll get here? Now look here, somewhere calculation you have to once again check, because when I keep on dividing it, I will converge into 3 or 4 iterations. Now why more iterations are required here? Because the number which I am taking, now instead of this and this and this and this, you were referring about the shortcuts. Now what shortcut we should take? I will tell you that if I try to divide this, it's getting too long. I may make errors in some calculations in between. When I took this number, it was relatively sharper one, shorter one. Now the shortcut which I am trying to tell you, try to take the two numbers which are closer to each other. Are you understanding? The method is already explained to you previously, taking these two numbers. Method is exhibited in front of you, taking this number and this number. But what we should have taken, we should have taken these two numbers for the fast track. Let us see. Because if the number of divisions are less, we can converge faster. 558 124. Typically, you realize when remainder is 0, this last divisor is LCM. So, HCF. So, typically what we realize, we are supposed to obtain HCF of 558, 434, 899 is equal to HCF of 558 and 434 and 899. So HCF of first two numbers we obtained and HCF of this versus this. So is equal to HCF of 62 and 899. This division was simple and smaller, and which yielded us a small number which yielded. And now we want to find HCF of this 899 divided by 62. Naturally, 62 I go ahead with 7, 2. Okay. Now 6 into 4. 31. 1 division by 62, and now 62 divided by 31. Second division. Previous case 4 divisions, now 2 division. In 6 division we are able to finish everything. 31 is SCF of these two numbers, means SCF of these three numbers. So 31 become SCF. If you see in the previous example, if you try to complete it, around, if I consider this number and this number, around 4 to 5 divisions are required, and SCF of this vis-a-vis this, again 3-4 divisions are required. In this case, what has happened? Because we have taken the closer numbers, the HCF of this is obtained in 4 steps, and HCF of this and this is obtained in 2 steps. So total in 6 steps we are able to converge to the HCF. So always take, if 3 numbers are given, take closer numbers first, find out their HCF, and then that HCF vis-a-vis the third number become faster one. Now this is just you try taking different examples, you will appreciate and understand what could be the shortcut. You try the method and you yourself will reveal that by one method you are going longer, by other method you are going shorter. Of course, calculations errors are going to be there. One is concept part of it, other is performance part of it. The conceptual errors can be minimized to 0 by doing better understanding. Concept should be made clear, and performance error can be minimized by practice. Practice will make man perfect. So practice can only reduce performance error. Conceptual errors cannot be reduced by practice. Conceptual error has to be minimized by improving understanding of the subject. So this 1 week course, you better use it for concept part more. Build your understanding and then go for test series which can reduce your performance error, as well as your speed also can increase. Any query we got, sir? Yeah. Bhushan Sadavarti is giving with a question. Sir, in this question, they ask us biggest measure. So how we conclude that we have to find out HCF? Look here, Sadavarti. 3 different containers are given having some measures. Now we want a small container where the multiple of this container will be the bigger content. Like for example, we are having say all more than 700, for example, just for example, 3 containers, they are having value more than 700, different values. Now in order to measure the liquid in all the 3 containers, naturally we have to take a container measuring the thing is smaller than this. Like suppose we want to measure 7 liter of milk, 10 liter of milk, 18 liter of milk, then the container which is able to measure these things should be smaller than this. I'll take a small example, 6 liter, 12 liters and 15 liters. Suppose we want to measure contents in the container 6 liter, 12 liter, 15 liter. Now naturally the measuring flask which will measure the contents of all the 3 strings must be smaller than this. So it should be smaller than this. Suppose this is X. X measure I am in multiple of X. So this should be multiple of X because I should be able to measure with the X container 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? So it should be multiple of X. This should be multiple of X. This should be multiple of X. Means X should be factor of this, factor of this, factor of this. And X, if we take the biggest one, then it is the biggest measure which can take care of it. And biggest factor means highest common factor. So X has to be common factor and then X has to be highest common factor. Then that will be biggest. For example, if I simply make it that instead of 6 it is 60, 120, this. Now, what was the LCM of HCF of 6, 12 and 15? I could get 3. Now, if I am having, I want to measure this. naturally I can even go for a measure which is bigger than 3, because HCF of these, HCF connotes highest. 3 is also common factor of this. I can measure all the contents here with a multiple of 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 20 occasions. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 40 occasions. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 50 occasions. Perfect. But I will have to go for more occasions because my measuring flask is smaller. Can I go with this? Can I use a measuring flask of 6 liter? Imagine 6 liter. If I go for 6 liter, 60 liter, how can I measure? 6, 6, 6, 6, 10 occasions. 6, 6, 6, 6, 20 occasions. 6, 6, 6, 6, maybe 25 occasions. So in less number of occasions I make it, because 6 is also a common factor. 3 is also a common factor, but 6 is higher than 3. And we are not satisfied with higher. We want highest. So that will be the biggest measure. So what is the highest common factor in all this thing? Naturally we will get 30 will be the highest common factor in this. Alright. And therefore we go for HCF. So this is called a conceptual formulation. Solution part goes with procedure. Alright. Any question is there? Huh? I think I'm very happy because you showed interest into the process, because question indicate that you have understood to fullest extent accept something, and that accept something is, if it is cleared in live session, then you will understand it fully. Use this week to make the concepts fully clear about the fundamental topics in quantitative aptitude, namely numbers, LCM-HCF, fraction ratio and proportion, simultaneous equations, and mathematical formulation. You'll find all remaining quantitative aptitude needs base of this. If fundamentals are absolutely clear, you zoom on understanding. Current week or otherwise, do not zoom on speed. Speed is immaterial at this juncture. Accuracy is most important. Get correct answer. Take your own time. Then with practice, you can reduce the time. And then maybe down the line, after a few months, you can become competitive and you can defeat other people. All the best to all of you. Thank you. Wish all the best for your quiz in the evening, at the same time for the entire course. Make tomorrow's live session more vibrant. With this appeal, I close. Thank you.